let's do a little bit of news before we get to some letters here, shall we? This is Fox 13, Salt Lake City. RV runs off of I-15, crashes into train tracks. Look at that. That's right there in Salt Lake City. There's train tracks. The RV ran off the I-15, then ended up right on the train tracks. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. Anyway, an RV towing a Jeep crashed into the train tracks just off of I-15 southbound at the Paris Lane exit. That was Saturday, 14th of August. Police reported that 2 people had minor injuries and they were taken away in an ambulance to a local hospital. The RV blew a tire, went through a fence, and landed on the train tracks. No other vehicles were involved. The UTA, whatever that is, oh, that's, I guess, the train organization. They reported that there were some delays on the rail line. I guess the police let the rail utility know that there was an RV on the tracks and no trains were sent by to run into the RV. So everything was cleared up. Relatively minor injuries, but a scary time there in Salt Lake City. We got some news from CBS Bay Area. I guess that's San Francisco, right? Vallejo. 3 lanes on Interstate 80 in Solano County were closed after a wreck just before 11 a.m. on the 14th. I guess, no, that was the 15th. The 15th, which was, Sunday. Wow, there it is. That RV flipped over on its side, and the car flipped completely over. Darn. It took an hour. Well, that's pretty good. An hour and a half to clear the roadway, according to the California Highway Patrol. No news about the injuries, and there was nothing in this article about what caused that wreck. But an RV and a pickup truck. That is a pickup truck. Overturned. That doesn't look like a pickup truck to me, but I guess there's another pickup truck somewhere in it. So maybe there was a 2-vehicle incident. And anyway, Interstate 80 in Solano County, California, and no serious injuries apparently, but again, we don't have any confirmation on that. Hey everybody! It is the 17th of August 2021, Tuesday. We've had a crazy day here. We had an earthquake, 2.7 magnitude earthquake this morning around 9 o'clock. I was recording a video when it happened. It really wasn't that much. It just went boom, sounded like big thunder, and the building shook. But we did have that, and then we've had all day the remains of Tropical Storm Fred, but they've been mainly staying off to our west over near Asheville, so just a lot of off and on rain stuff. So we got earthquake, tropical storm. What next? I don't know, man. Let's do some letters on this nice quiet day, shall we? Market Share says, good topic. Oh, I was talking about how some nomads that choose to be nomads really are unemployable people who really have no choice, but good topic. Many nomads are running from financial and legal judgments that they have checked out of normal traceable society and criminal activity without an address or some way to track them so they don't have to pay on their legal judgments. Others are respectable, honest people that just like the freedom of the road and the experience of a new place whenever they want it. It's amazing how many YouTubers are considered for marketing contracts, but after doing background checks, they're not suitable to represent a product. And the other thing was Bob, Cheap RV Living Bob, the RTR a couple years ago, he asked people, please, don't just film crowd shots, don't just film other people at the RTR without their permission, because he really said this. There's, legal things against some of these people, and people, lawyers and police officers are watching some of these videos. I don't know, man. I don't know. Wyatt Christman says, every full-time RVer has a different story, which is why the way to full-time RVing is as varied as there are full-time RVers or even nomads. And I said that. I've said that many times, that every nomad is an individual with an individual story, and there's a different reason why they're doing what they're doing, and you can't really lump them into anything, But there are certain nomads that are, on the run from things. They definitely are, But what they're on the run from is very varied, Yeah. Wyatt continues to pigeonhole all of them into a certain category, makes it easy to assume that knowing a person when you meet them with, is this type of person. You really don't. We see people on YouTube that are presenting a certain point of view, certain way of living, whatever, and it's really hard anyway. He says, consider the flip side. Most people are forced into having a job. In other words, the regular 9 to 5 is for the weak-minded, which I mean, your life isn't, and so, hey, there's a lot, again, to summarize what he wrote here, and it's very intelligent what he wrote, but basically, it is basically a lot of different reasons why someone's a nomad, and some of them are forced into it in different kinds of ways. How many choices are forced on us by our culture, family, circumstances, and we delude ourselves into thinking that it's choice? Good question, Dave. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It's a choice. Everything's a choice. To go on the road is a choice. But if going on the road is the only choice, in order to survive and make some money on YouTube and PayPal and whatever, then is it really a choice? Jen D talks about the allure of living on the road and all that other stuff, but she also says that she has a need for security. I'd be terrified with the uncertainty of not being able to come home because there is no home to return to. As such, I've probably missed out on a lot of fun because of it, and working boring jobs because it's pensionable time. Again, everybody, there's security on one hand, and then adventure on the other, and boredom on one hand, and anxiety on the other, and everybody has to find that middle ground, being a nomad, full-time, part-time, sometimes, I don't know. Again, everybody's journey is different and has to find their own way, right? Iris Collins says, when it's a choice between being on the road in a vehicle or living under a bridge wrapped in a tarp or a homeless shelter, I'd pick the vehicle. Honey Girl has a very good point here. Often people do what they must. I can judge anyone's decision because they I can't judge anyone's decision because they have to live it, and I have to live mine. Again, I think a lot of nomads like to present themselves as having a choice in the matter of becoming a nomad. And there are definitely some people that have chosen that lifestyle. But there also are a lot of people that haven't chosen the lifestyle, that is kind of forced on them. And yet they call it a choice still, Dear Rick, yeah, I talked about the earthquake we had here this morning. I wonder if that quake made Rick wants to know if the quake made the earthquake, the sinkhole at the car wash over there by the post office here in Morganton, is larger? Yeah, is that sinkhole larger? Did the car wash fall off into the sinkhole yet? You know what? I got to go check that out. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll drive right by there and check it out. I'll do an update, so stay tuned for that. I don't know, man. Yowich says, bet you were in Virginia when Northern Virginia felt that earthquake centered in Louisa County near Richmond, almost 10 years to the date. That's right, August 23rd, 2011. I do remember that very well. We were having roofing done on our condo building, so we were getting big pallets of shingles being placed on the roof of the building, and the whole building was kind of shaking. We were getting used to that. And then it did that once. We heard the whole building kind of shake, and I immediately thought, okay, they're just loading more pallets of shingles on the roof. And then the whole building started to continue to shake for upwards of half a minute, 45 seconds. And I knew that was not a pallet of shingles on the roof. And I ran outside, and other people were running outside, and yeah, that was quite, and the whole, you get that kind of oscillation feeling, like you're almost on water. And when we had the earthquake here in North Carolina, Sparta, North Carolina, which is not far from here, it was exactly a year ago, back in August of 2020. The building felt like we were on a ship, and it was this particular earthquake that happened this morning, it just felt like an explosion, like a big loud crash and then a quick shake, a very quick harsh shake that lasted maybe 2 or 3 seconds. Tommy Knocker says traveling Robert is installing a septic tank on his new camping property While out in the Pandaland Ranch and Slab City, they continue to use holes dug in the desert. Traveling Robert is what you might call a civilized nomad. I didn't want to shortchange Traveling Robert because I did talk about his hour-long video yesterday about Pelicamp Part 2, and he was detailing the entire thing that took him 3 or 4 months to do. He has an acre of property there in northern Florida and Big Bend area, and he started work on it back in March and kind of finished it in June, and he went through the whole thing, clearing the land, putting up, for a campsite, for several campsites actually, putting in power lines, digging a ditch for that, digging a well, putting in a septic tank, a fence and a gate, a tool shed, driveway, sewer lines to the septic tank. So it did a lot of work there. And he's saying apparently he wants to have some of those camps in other places too, so that when he does go traveling, he's never too far from a Pelicamp. Ryan C. says, Derek, I wonder who that is. Derek is sick of traveling, but now it's his business. What a sad life. Again, you do not want to get boxed into something. YouTube can box you into things, that you get subscribers because they want to see a certain thing, and then you get tired of that certain thing, and you're trying to do other things, and then you have to balance giving your subscribers what they originally signed up for, or having them flee as you're trying to change your channel into something that they didn't sign up for. I see that in a lot of channels. I signed up for a travel channel or an exploration channel or a nomadic channel, and then they have to talk about, video games or politics or, car repairs or something that I didn't sign up for, And then it's kind of like, okay, goodbye. I don't know. Channels do change. People do change. People get off the road and then they start doing, little fixing up my house videos or becoming real estate agents. And you kind of go, I didn't subscribe to a real estate channel or a political channel. Bye. We're talking about how originally they thought the earthquake was 5 kilometers away from here. It's not 5 miles, that's about 2.5 kilometers. But now the latest USGS things show it to be about 10 miles north of here, up in Caldwell County, near a town called Lenore. So that's where apparently the latest I've seen where the epicenter was for the earthquake. What a day. So anyway, it's that's probably more like 7 or 10 miles away. RS, you can tell Dave did a quick edit so he could change his camo undies. Or my camo panties. My camo panties. I don't know, man. I thought something exploded. It sounded like an explosion to me, so I should have kept the camera running at that segment, but what the heck was that? And then I cut the camera off. I keep the camera running. Got to do that. GB, right? Roses are red, violets are blue. Dave created an earthquake just to get more views. That's right. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. You have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Talk to you later, Gator. Vlog under.